We are
the
the Simdicate.
Hello and welcome.
You may be wondering how you got here.
You may be wondering your choice of podcast.
In this series, you'll hear a variety of stories that may or may not be fact or fiction.
Welcome
To the Simdicate.
If you can't believe the unbelievability, then there's something wrong with the writing.
It may be said with a degree of assurance that not everything that meets the eye is as it appears.
There is nothing in the dark that isn't there when the lights are on.
But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Just how normal we are. And just who are the people we say our hellos to?
A rather good question to ask.
Especially on the
Simdicate.
Welcome back, everybody, to another Syndicate podcast here on the Syndicate channel. Join us every Sunday for more of these. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do a few more gaming-related podcasts in the future, of course. And don't forget about our other projects that we're working on. We're dropping some teasers right now for something you don't want to miss, and we stream on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Multi-split screen stream for everybody to enjoy in one place. It's just easier that way for all of us. Getting to today's podcast, we're going to be covering Raft. It's a game that we've been streaming, we've been playing. A lot of us have played it for years. I played it on itch.io when it first came out. Some of the other guys have been playing it for a long time, or maybe never played it a lot until we started playing it. So I think it's a great game to cover. AO Mike 83.
Hey, everyone.
GaminGargoyle.
Heyo, look out for the rock flying.
Bone 13.
I'm not here. Bruce ate me.
And I am DeuceMS. To get into this, I think we're going to cover some of the topics of the game that may not be talked about a whole lot. I mean, people know the storyline, people know the crazy builds and stuff that go on in the game. But I think the background of it may not be talked about as much by the general population that have played this game and don't really know much about it. So we're going to try to cover some of that aspect and then go into kind of some of the story as well. So first topic up is the game Raft was developed by 3 students that I'm going to butcher all of their names. So I'm going to try just the first names and go with that because names are hard. Okay, names are hard. Andre, Ellen, and Sima. Gonna go with that one. Gonna go with that. Sorry if I butchered the name. I mean no disrespect whatsoever. But this game was developed by 3 university students, and they spent around 15 weeks to create a prototype for the survival game set in an endless ocean. So I think that's pretty neat. It was released in December 19th, 2016, and it was released on itch.io. So what do you guys think about the idea of students developing games and kind of some of the other games we've seen developed by students or people maybe still in school and still learning in the projects they've worked on, specifically Raft and what they've done with this game? Gargoyle, we'll start with you.
I think it's a great idea, honestly. I mean, I don't understand why more universities don't do that. I mean, honestly, if they were more students who were working on these types of projects and then allow them to post them out on different platforms, like not Steam or Epic where they take their 30% or higher fees or anything, but something like, say, a Nexus or of the like, where they take like 3 to 5%. That's it. But the game gets out there. I think that would be a great way to promote the pride of ownership in making these games. We've seen lots of great little projects that have come out of these people, and I want to see more. These kids, they deserve a chance, so I think that they should be given one.
All right, good answer. Let's go over to AO Mike 83.
All right, and this is a great game, and it kind of on par with what Gargoyle said. I agree. More schools should do stuff like this, and I'm not sure how the financial part of it worked with whether they made money or the school made money. But if these kids are making money off of this, more power to them. It gives them more of a push to try and create something better in the future, in my opinion.
All right. Bone, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I like student development games. There's quite a bit of them out there that are very, very good. And the reason why I think they're so good is that they treat this like it's one of their kids or something like that, something that they're very intimate with. And so, they don't care so much about having the top selling game. They don't care about money as much. They don't care about the best graphics. They just want a good, fun game that is replayable, has good mechanics, good storyline or good story-ish. And I think they put more honest effort into developing a really quality game. And most student projects, they don't seem to go away as fast either. They always seem to constantly evolve and grow. I think it's just because, it's their, like I said, it's their like their firstborn type of thing. And, they're always trying to get it better and get it better and get it better as they, develop more skills and, learn other things, as they're going through their courses and everything like that. So, I mean, that's why I like it. I mean, other than that, I mean, just to repeat what everyone else said, um, there is a lot of universities that do offer it, but I mean, I just looked this up. I don't think it's advertised at all. At least, I mean, I mean, some of these universities, I mean, they're actually bigger universities that do it. I didn't even know they did them, to be perfectly honest. And a lot of them offer, it's like a degree with arts or with math. And I mean, they're offering, some schools offer PhDs in them. I had no idea. So, I mean, that's why I like, I mean, you're getting some really talented people making this stuff.
Right. Yeah. No, man. I agree. And honestly, I know it's my turn to say something about them developing stuff, but I think you guys covered it all pretty well. I would just say that I didn't know that either, Bone. I didn't know that it was offered to that many schools. I think that's something that should be pushed a lot harder. Especially in today's era, right, where we live in the age of technology and information, and it's I sound like I'm 85 years old talking about this, but it's true though. I mean, when I was in high school, we had typing class, right? That's it, and DOS. We learned DOS, okay, but I mean that was it. That's what we had. I think this should not just be pushed and talked about, that it's available at these big universities, but it should also be taught in high school, man. Like app development, coding of any sort. You know what I mean? Like I think it should start way earlier, and it might. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in high school these days, but I think it should be taught way earlier. I think it should be promoted and celebrated, not just kind of shoved to the side. The weird kids programming games again. None of that, man. Promote it and make it known. Make it known that your school does it. I think it'd be great. Get a little more out there about it. To say that, hey, our university does this. You want to make games? Come to our university. It's great for the college. It's great for the people. I just think it's great all the way around. So,
Geek is the new chic. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
I mean, if anything, it should help them academically too, because like I said, I mean, anyone who has any knowledge in coding, we know it's a bunch of math and there's a bunch of science that
Right.
goes into it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this should be much more pushed, in that area these days. But I think that pretty much covers the first topic of universities and groups, students at universities making games and how we feel about it. I think that all the answers were fairly on point there. If you guys have anything to add to that in the comments section, of course, let us know. I think the next thing that I kind of I'm just reading over some stuff. Like I said, a lot of this information, like I knew that it was created by students, I think, from universities, but like after reading over this again, I was like, yeah, I remember all that. But I didn't know that they decided to keep developing the game. Like Bone said, a lot of these students decide to keep developing the game and they try to stay with it for the long haul. They were shooting for Steam Early Access and they teamed up with the scrap mechanic developers, Axolot Games. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I honestly, like, you can look on Steam that tells you who the developer is, and I honestly didn't even think anything about it. So, but that's kind of neat. The original mechanics for Raft included expanding the raft with foundations and putting nets, now collection nets, building ramps, pillars, floor, fishing. Stabbing the shark was also part of the core game. Only mackerel could be caught with the fishing rod. This is leading somewhere, guys. I promise. I'm not just reading from the wiki just to be reading. I'm leading up to something here. Plants could be grown, but there was no way to replant the yields. The crafting system was very basic. There was only a few select tools, such as a cup, spear, hook, and only 2 different stations in the form of a water purifier and a grill. So, with where it started and where we're at right now, with the inclusion of the islands and all the extra stuff and all that kind of stuff, I know that there's not as much in this game as some of like the AAA titles and the bigger development companies and that kind of thing. But how do you think the game just you may not have played it in the early days, but how do you just by hearing that though, how do you feel that it relates to the progress they've made on the game and how far it's come? Mike, let's start with you.
I think the game has came a long way since it first released. I didn't play it on itch.io, but I did play it in early days on Steam. And I mean, from then to now, it's completely different. Everything that's been added, and I mean, it's to me, it's mind-boggling that people have the intelligence to code a game to begin with, because it's like alien to me.
I'm right there with you. Bone, do you think that had they not hooked up with X-Lot Games, do you think the progress that they've made would have been able to happen?
Yes, I do, but I believe it would have been done at a much slower pace. Because obviously they had the ideas, or at least some of the ideas. Axolot probably came in with some other stuff. But I think the core game was all still done by the 3 people. So yes, I do believe that it still would have been done. It would have been done at a much slower pace, and it probably wouldn't have been as much mass played as it is right now.
Right. Gargoyle, you played this game early on, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about the game from early access, even before early access on Steam, if you played it that long ago, to now? What are your thoughts on it after getting back in and playing it now?
I can say this game has been an absolute natural progression. I can say that up until the latest update, where they've added in the biodomes and those type of things, the ship and all that. I guess it's like 3 patches ago, but anyway, I could tell up to that point, until they started adding that ship and the biodome, that this was all based on the original itch.io game, but naturally growth. And then you can tell when all of a sudden, poof, there was a big change. They had more time, more money to get more models made, so they got a lot more stuff coming in with the updates. I'm very happy that they did sign on with the publisher. At the same time, I agree with Bone that yes, they could have done exactly what we are seeing here today, but I don't think the quality of graphics would be as good. But I do believe that the core mechanics that they've set up would be just as solid, for sure. That's all on the development team. That's got nothing to do with the advertising of the publishers. The publishers are great for getting the name out there, but this game is so good that when it was on itch.io, it got out there anyway. So I do believe that they could have just kept carrying on, giving us the exact same product we have today, just with not as good models for the threats, the foods, the dishes, the recipes, all that stuff. I don't think the quality of graphics would be there, just because they would have to use cheaper modelers. So I think that, yeah, it was a good thing for them to do this, to give them a very good, credible game for having the publishers, but I also believe that they could have done it on their own as well.
All very, very good, valid answers for sure. And again, saying pretty much everything I would say. I would just add that playing this early on, I did put out content when this came out on itch.io. And I remember doing a video on the furniture update. You know what I mean? Like when they added furniture to the game. And I was like, man, this is awesome. They added furniture to the game, And then I just kind of, I mean, like we do with all games, I just kind of, it went by the wayside. I just forgot about it. And then we started playing it again, and I was like, this is Raft? Dude, this is crazy. Like, there's so much more in the game. Like, I remember cooking the potatoes and throwing the hook, and I was like, it's a fun game. There's a little bit here. And there wasn't a whole lot there, though. So, going back into it with the Simdicate crew here, it was like, bam, brand new game in your face. So much more going on. There's islands, there's story, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And just to kind of throw on top of them working with Axelot Games, I 100% agree with both of you. I think that I'm sure Mike probably would have said the same. I didn't ask him though. I kind of I slid that by him. But I'm sure he would have said the same, that they probably would have kept developing it and we would have got this game eventually. It just would have taken a lot longer with a lot more sacrifice from the individuals making the game. So instead of working with a team to get it done. So yeah, I agree for sure. So let's talk about. Sorry, wait, what was that, Gargle?
I was gonna say something. I just want to jump in here though. If I just noticed that something on the tweets, checking out Twitter here, and this Sunday marks 3 years on Steam for Raft, and it's time to celebrate. Join us for 2 weeks of events, giveaways, and contests over on our Discord, starting today at 4 p.m. Central European Time.
Cool. Can you screen grab that and drop it in the?
It's the 4-way right now.
Okay,
Take a look
cool.
at it, and I want you guys to look at it, open the original, and tell me what's new coming to the game, because I'm saying this. There is a sofa couch. I am looking at some balustrades. So you guys seeing anything else new? I think the wallpaper might be new.
What's a balustrade?
Yeah, the wall looks different.
The railing.
You have the railing.
Oh, the railings are different. There's wallpaper. There's string lights.
Oh, good call. String lights.
String lights.
Ooh.
Hang on. There's a quill and ink on the table.
A fancy table.
And a fancy table.
Yeah.
And because I love them, there's a plant on the right-hand side.
Oh yeah.
And a potter.
Yep. What is
There's
that
a
fire over
television.
there? Wait, what is the fire?
That's
Is that
what I'm looking at.
Is that a chair or a fire? That looks like
It's a fire.
Lord, it was a fire.
It's like a little brazier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So they've got a lot going. Is this our next update?
I believe so. That's what it says. It says here's a sneak peek of a few things new coming to Raft soon. So I'm looking at here, and wow. I mean, there's a vase with plants in it. Looks like a cactus in behind the books. So we're going to have to definitely post this picture up. Now, when I have it blown up, it's not in good quality, but...
I'll find it somewhere.
I mean, there's throw rugs, coffee table, sofa, chair.
There's a hanging lantern there, too.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Good catch.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. Good
So
catch,
you can already
Colin.
paint, right? We just haven't made it that far in our gameplay.
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
we
Yeah,
have. You can paint from day one if you get flowers.
Well, I mean, we have all the flowers. We could paint.
Well,
we just haven't.
We just haven't gone to our final build to pretty it up yet. You know, but here, look at this. Now we have more things that we get to think about when we're building it up. Now we can have our gentleman's room, and you know what I mean? That'll be pretty cool.
Wait, there's a shelf on the wall back there with a vase. And a
with the vase, yeah.
And then something else.
Is that a drum on top, maybe?
I can't make that out. I don't.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if that was a drum. Somebody on pianos, another one drums, maybe bring in a saxophone or something.
Now, I wonder if that's like a trellis or a wallpaper.
It looks
I think
like
that's
wallpaper.
Yeah.
But
I think that's wallpaper.
Where would you get wallpaper in the water?
I'm sure it's just a paint scheme.
Yeah, that's probably
That
what
could
it is.
be.
Yeah, disguised as wallpaper.
Yeah.
It's
Now you
disguised
carve a
wallpaper.
piece of plastic and you just roll over it, and that's how you get the imprints, right?
Yeah. So the stack of books there with the quill and pen, I'm wondering if we're going to be able to write, make notes or whatever. That'd be kind of neat.
Oh, it'd be cool to put our own message in a bottle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
That'd
kind of
be
cool because
neat.
they've already got the candle in a bottle, right? They've got that. So that'd be kind of neat. There's a painting on the wall back there too, by the way.
You're right. Yeah.
Just to
behind is now.
just to our left of the character there.
Well, we can get paintings already.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, we
See,
can
there's so
buy
much I
them.
don't know about this game.
We can buy them
buy
at
them at the
the
machine.
Dome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I talked about that. We were like, if we go back, we'll get more. Yeah.
So is that a TV or is that a window behind the character?
That's a window.
Is that a window?
That's a window.
I
You
was
can
hoping that'd
you
be-
can see the skyline.
Yep.
I was hoping that'd be like an extra viewing port, so you don't have to have your wheel real close to the radar.
We're not a submarine though.
No, I know. But still, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way to build that if we wanted to.
Oh, I'm sure.
Take
there is.
windowed walls and make an angled cockpit around the
Yeah, or
captain's
half walls or
captain's chair.
whatever.
Yeah.
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 Well, that may be something to think about when we finish ours, right?
Yeah, we're not finished. We've just set it to the side
Right.
until the update comes, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. We were definitely not finished with Raft. It is so much
No.
fun. We're definitely gonna keep playing it. Well, cool,
Oh,
man. I'm
yeah.
glad you brought that up because that just completely. I don't even know what the next topic I was going to talk about was, but that is awesome.
Yeah,
That
I
is
didn't mean to, like I said, didn't mean to
fantastic
interrupt
news.
it, but that is awesome. Yeah. So,
No, that's
Yeah,
fantastic
kinda-
news, man. So that is Raft is 33% off until May 31st. So by the time this comes out, that sale had already ended. So
Yeah, the sale ends on my birthday.
yep.
Haha.
So by the time this comes out, Mike will be another year older, and this Raft sale would have ended. So
yep.
if you missed it,
Sorry for
sorry,
the
you
late-
missed it. So
But you heard it here last. On the
Yeah.
Hype Board.
right.
You heard it here late.
You heard it here late.
I mean, is that abnormal for us though? I mean, let's be honest. It's not.
No, we're always behind.
Yeah, we're always behind. So I think the next topic I was just going to talk about was the addition of not just free play, but the addition of the chapters and stuff in the game. So I know we all were there, and Gargoyle missed a couple weeks with us, but I know that reading through the notes and stuff, Bone always read them because I don't read well. I don't know if pronouncing the names earlier gave that away. But Bone always read them, so I'm gonna admit that I zoned out during about half of them.
Thanks.
So I don't know what actually I get I know the idea of the storyline. I just don't remember specifically names and that kind of stuff. Like I know what's going on with the storyline. But so the first chapter was the radio tower. Code will lead the player to the first destination, the journey, the radio tower. This was the one, if I'm not mistaken, with the multiple towers on it. Is that right? Or was that Balboa that had the multiple towers, the bears and all that kind of stuff? Oh no, that was Balboa Island. Okay, what was the radio tower? Was that the one with the
oil,
toxic?
No,
No.
the oil platform.
oil rig,
Yeah.
oil
Yeah.
well driller.
Oh, that's right, the oil rig. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the
platform.
toxic stuff was
Platform.
Balboa also.
Oh my God, Balboa was huge.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
two different islands. Okay.
We were there for like 3 streams.
We were. That's true. We were. So
Well, we had
on
back too. Yeah.
what was I want everybody's first impression of showing up, because we'd been hitting these small islands, seeing this huge oil rig, right? We'd been hitting all these little small oil rigs. I'd never seen them. I'd never seen any gameplay of it or anything like that. But I want everybody's impression of your first thought when you saw it and how it felt to see that first huge thing in the game. I'm going to go first so I don't get left out here on nothing to say. I'm going to leave somebody else on that one. For me, seeing that the first time without seeing any content on it whatsoever was crazy. Like I didn't know what to think. I thought, man, let's just go. I didn't know what to do. I felt like a squirrel drinking Red Bull because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was looking for. I had no clue what was going on, but I just wanted to go. I just wanted to get on it and just go. But it's so huge out in the middle of this ocean, and all you see is like these little small islands, and then you see this oil rig, this huge, gigantic oil rig out in the middle of nowhere. It's almost breathtaking, but it's a game. But it's still almost like, man, it just takes you and reels you back into there's more happening here than you know kind of attitude, So that was my first thoughts. Anyway, Bone, what was your first thoughts?
My first thought was, all right, here we go. Now it's starting to get somewhere. Because it was like my first time playing this game was with you guys. So I had no knowledge whatsoever. So by the time we got to this point, I was just now understanding the game a little bit better. I wasn't so clumsy with the mechanics and what to do and, making sure my player was not dying of thirst or hunger, which, still happens today, but at least I know about it now. But it was like, okay, yes. And now we get going. Because, I did read a little bit on the game. So I was like, okay, we get to do this. We get to do this. We get to do this. But yeah, once we first started finding the notes, finding a couple blueprints, finding the messages that they wrote on the walls, it was like, all right, here we go. This is we're into it now. I want to see where this leads, and we still don't know where it leads.
I mean, that's very true. We don't. Gargle, what was your first impressions?
Well, I'd played it previously, and they already had the oil platforms in already. But it wasn't as large as it is now. I'll say that it was only like 1/3 to maybe 40% the size of what it was when we arrived. Anyway, before it was pretty basic. You know, you can just go through 3 or 4 offices, climb up to the top, get your radar stuff and all that. And then down underneath the water, there would be like 2 or 3 sea cans, right? The train cargo containers that they put on the sea, ship them off, sea containers. And so I was expecting it. I was just really impressed on the improvements that have been made onto it. That's for sure. There was a lots in there. I like how that they added the note system and everything. I think they added a lot of good value to the game for play wise in it, and the core mechanics were just solid. We weren't getting stuck in walls. You know, we could jump where we could allowed to jump, and we couldn't jump where we weren't allowed to. So I think that was fantastic that way.
That's cool. That's a great, unique perspective. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. The fact that you see, I stopped playing it, but you didn't. So you played through all that, but just knowing that it's not one of those games you get stuck on every little object or whatever. That's a great perspective. I didn't really consider that. Mike, what was your first impressions?
My first impression on that was "Let's Go." That was not in the game when I first played it. And like you, I stopped playing it because I was like, well, I'll wait for updates. I'll wait for updates. And then I ended up, uninstalling it and hadn't been back until recently when we were starting to talk about playing Raft. It's like, well, let's get in here and see what it's about. I didn't get that far. I mean, I built a 4x4 raft and floated down the ocean for a little bit, and I was like, okay, yeah. Hit a few islands. But, I mean, it was almost dropping for me. The one that was really jaw-dropping, which we haven't talked about yet, was Balboa. That was like the ultimate island for me.
Well, we're getting to that one.
Yeah.
We're getting to that one. So quickly, let's just touch on Vastagatten. Vasagatan. There we go. Trying to pronounce. I actually we looked this up to see how to pronounce this. I had to hear a pronunciation of it. I am that southern, so I had to listen to a pronunciation to be able to pronounce that. But Vasagatan was the deserted cruise ship, which I thought was a really cool addition to the game because you see another boat out there, gigantic cruise ship, that kind of stuff. You just want to quickly just share some thoughts, on the just the way it was, decorated, the way it was designed, something like that. Bone, we can start with you.
Well, the design was great. I mean, you could tell it was a completely lived-in ship. Everything, the design of it, the quarters were where they were supposed to be. The engine room was where it was supposed to be. The galley was where it was supposed to be. Up on the top, you had all the entertainment. You had multiple DJ areas, multiple bar areas. But I mean, what I liked about that was we actually met our first enemy there. And that was the annoying little rat creature.
My first words are going to be, what do I think of it? The rat.
Uh-huh.
God.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I mean, it was definitely well thought of.
Right. Mike, what about you? What did you think about the just the design and such of the ship?
Design was fantastic. Reminded me of a cruise ship.
Yep, that pretty much sums it up. Gargle?
Like I said, the rats. So just for context, I was late coming in on that one. That's the one where I came in late and I didn't stream.
Oh, that's right.
And
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was on the raft, and when I came in, I was like, okay, what needs to be taken care of around here? Okay, do some of the housekeeping, whatever, you know what I mean? And then you guys needed food and water and a couple other things, so I grabbed some
Beers.
lanterns and all that, and I come running back in, and I have to go through the maze of this cruise ship. But if you're over there, just do this to jump up on there and up and in it. Okay, thank you. All right, so I didn't have that much time to really take in the design of it, other than the mechanics of working your way through it. So just imagine it's like, okay, I get to you guys, I hand everything all out, and I'm like, all right, let's go to the next area. And the first thing I run into is a rat. And I was not prepared. I did not have a machete. All I had on me was I think it was the wooden spear. I don't think it was even the metal spear or something like that. But I'm just in there, just poking it like 20 times. And like, how do you kill these things? Mike comes over and put one arrow, done. Like, oh, come on. I softened him up for you. So for me, I really didn't notice too much of the ship's design as I was going through it because it was like, okay, I'm on a mission. I'm going to get this, brought this, do this. Okay, get it to you guys. So it's the fastest way. You guys are running out of food and water. So I come running in, drop all that off, and like, all right, good to go. Let's go. And rats. Hi. But I think it was fantastic. It was something that the game definitely needs more of. I would like to see probably like not rats or something. I left off with the Raft and hadn't played it since then until you guys, was where they first brought in the larger islands with the flying bird dropping rocks.
Oh
So there was
yes.
llama, there was furniture, there was that dang bird, and you couldn't shoot that thing with an arrow unless it was coming right towards you. It was just a pain in the butt. And so I played it with three others, and we enjoyed it all the way through up to there. But so far, they've really done a good job on adding things for sure. And the Vasagotten, no matter how you pronounce it, that was a nice add-on. I like that. As for the story to it, it still left us with questions though. So I'm glad that there was more for that story to expand on.
Right. That is very true. And it did leave us some questions. So by the way, I've got like 14,000 pages open right now on Google. The name of the rat is the Lurker, by the way.
Ah.
I'm sitting there looking at it too. I didn't know either, but yeah, all I can think is that big rat, dude. So the
Mhm.
one thing that I remember the most about Vasagatan was the uh, I called them PV speakers. It was the speakers in the dance area or the bar area, and I called them PV speakers. And me and Bone had a good laugh about it because they look like some PV speakers. PV is a company that made audio equipment that makes audio equipment based out of Mississippi. So I just thought that was kind of I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, it's like they look like PV speakers. But I love the design though. I mean, it like Bone said, like you got like all of you guys said, it looked like it was a used cruise ship because there was stuff laying around. You know, it's like people just abandoned the ship at some point. You know, so I thought it was a great design. I thought it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun playing, and I do remember when Gargoyle got there all of us going, I can't walk fast because I don't have any food. And then Bone and Mike are like, well, we don't have any food either. You're stuck. You know, it's like, well, crap. All right, fine. And then Gargoyle shows up. It's like, Gargoyle, bring us food. So because we were stuck on this cruise ship in this maze, but it's just a lot of fun. It was great fun. It really was. I enjoyed it myself quite a bit, actually. That was probably one of the more fun ones. On to the one that was fun, but man, was it frustrating, and man, was it massive. Balboa Island. We're gonna let Mike start this one because this was his whoa moment in Raft. So, Mike, just sum up Balboa Island in your experience.
My experience, we got there, and I thought, boy, I wish I could build on land. I'd have been happy just staying there. But it was jaw dropping for me. Seeing the size of that island, just in the distance, and it getting bigger as we got closer, and then finally stepping foot on that island and meeting the bear. That not the cubs, but you know the big bear that we had to figure
Mama
out
bear.
that we needed berries for. The one that ate, oh, I don't know what, 2,200 arrows.
At least, yeah. Its name is Mama Bear, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm married to her. But I mean that island, it's massive, and there's so much to do on that island. So much to explore, so much to find, so much to learn. That's pretty much it.
But Bone, what did you think? Just your experience from the island, first showing up to it and such.
Well, it was like, okay, we're, kind of like at a a camp area because it's, they talk about the ranger stations and stuff like that, and it's like, okay. Then we start going into them, and it's like, okay, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. It's like, then we got to start exploring everything, and then of course we run into the bears. But first experience was, holy cow. And I was like, because it's, in the back of your head, this isn't going to be the biggest place. There's going to be something bigger than this, because it's too early in the game to throw the biggest island out there. Now, granted, it probably had the toughest enemy on there once, because we figured out, oh, wait, we don't even have to hunt her. We just had to feed her some berries and she'll leave us alone type of thing. But, yeah, I mean, it was everything that you had to do and the certain ways that you had to do them, was very well done. Very well done. So, I mean, yeah, first impressions, I was blown away.
Cool. Gargoyle, let's get your thoughts on Balboa because you said you had previously played. I'm curious to know if Balboa was in the game when you played, or maybe a smaller
Negative.
version of it. So,
Negative. It was not in the game at all. As a matter of fact, I have a totally different perspective on this than you guys. This is probably, I think this was the last time that we did our individual streams. We weren't on the
it
four-way
was.
yet,
Yeah.
right? So on my stream, if you'd be watching it, you'd be hearing me saying as I'm doing fishing and cooking and crafting, everything else going, what the hell are these guys getting into? All I hear is this, no, bear over here, bear over here, bear over here. And all I'm hearing is, we don't have enough arrows. So what do? I start crafting more arrows. So I'm fishing, crafting more arrows, doing my thing, just waiting for the call. And then it's like, oh, it's not going to happen. All right. I'm just going to go ahead, go up the island. I'm loaded for bear. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm going to
But
chop down some
it's
trees because we know how to do this, right? So I'm going through, find some berries, chop down a couple of trees. They were hard to find, by the way. And I found out later on, you can pick up pine cones for pine cone seeds. So we could be growing pine trees, maybe. So whenever we go back, we got to look for them.
Yep, I'm just looking on the wiki here, and I saw that too, and that was the one thing that caught my eye was pine cones. I was like, I don't remember picking up pine cones.
Yeah, we did not.
So
Yeah, so we have to go back to Balboa, guys. We have
we're
to.
going to have to.
Yep.
And so I didn't go through all the quote unquote puzzles that you guys went through because it's like, oh, we got to go to this station 12. Oh no, go left. No, up this pathway to the right, to the left. And I'm going, yep, my name's Gaiman, not Garmin, and I would be no help to them right now. So I'm just going to stick down here and get everything ready for them later. I'm going to get the food, I'm going to get the water, I'm going to get the arrows, and I'll wait. And yeah, you guys did so well for so long. I was like, all right, I'm going to do my adventuring. And found that bear, and it was like, how many arrows do these bears take? And so then in the end I end up running away. Then Mike, you fell in the wrong spot. You thought you were falling off to the left and you fell off to the right or something, and
Can't
had to
prove
go
it.
a long way around or whatever it was. And so you finally come back. I'm like, all right, here's all the stuff that you need, and let you take it all back. So that was my introduction to Balboa. I didn't actually go through the island more than like just up a hill, and it was just doing more comedy on what you guys were doing for the hilarity that was ensuing and the chaos every time you guys came across the bear. And Mama Bear was something to listen to from you guys, I tell you. She won't die. I'm out of ammo. I have no food left.
Next time we go, you got to meet her.
Yeah, I gotta say that was one of the most fun multiplayer experiences I think I've had.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to play, DayZ. I used to play Arma 2, Arma 3. And that was one of the most fun moments I think in my multiplayer history ever. Us coming up to this bear and it not flipping dying. Like no matter what we did, it would not die. It was fantastic. Honestly, my thoughts on Balboa showing up was wide-eyed, like I'd just seen the streets of gold. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, this thing is huge. It actually exists. And I never even considered the fact that what Bone brought up a minute ago was that why would they be giving us the biggest thing, the third thing in, right? The biggest island, the third mission in. So I'm with him on that. I don't think we've seen the biggest or the best they've had to offer. And of course, we'll get to the Dome City in a little bit, but Balboa is by far the biggest thing we've seen so far. As
Well, and
far
don't
as
forget about the drawbridge.
oh god, the drawbridge. I did forget about that. Yeah, having to drop the
Uh-huh.
drawbridge, throwing rocks or shoot
Yep.
an arrow or whatever. So there's stones laying there. If you guys haven't played and you get to that point, there's some stones laying there. If you don't have a bow with you, just throw some stones at the thing. But yeah, the drawbridge going across to the other part that you can't even get to of Balboa Island. I mean, it's just stupid big. But I didn't even consider that Bone was talking about. And then, of course, we got bees. That was our first beehives, right? Our first bees, catching them there. Of course, we had to go back because we didn't have a net. So we
Nope.
went back to Balboa a second time to do that. We did pick up some birch seeds, though, but we did not pick up any pine cones. So
Let me just say, we are great at planning.
we are fantastic at planning. But I think that was for me one of those holy crap moments, like way more than seeing the radio tower, right? The oil rig. It was just like, I can't believe this is actually in the game, because you're floating up to it and it's just this silhouette off in the distance, and it's like, God, that's huge. And then you get to it and you don't realize how big it actually is until you get on the island. Like, it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Balboa sent us to Monkey Caravan Island, is what we looked up the what was it, the English pronunciation of whatever it was called. I can't remember the name of it now. It doesn't actually say that on here.
Tanga
No, just
or
is
Tanga
caravan.
Tanga something.
No,
Tangaroa.
Tangaroa is the dome.
The next time.
Tangaroa. That's
Oh.
the dome, yeah.
Yeah, Caravan Island was the one where we had to get that's the one where Bone got his mayor's hat from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was a lot of fun because we got zip lines, right? So I mean, that
Mhm.
was good fun. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. I mean, we got zip lines. There was, of course, the
Oh,
story.
you got the metal detector there.
Oh, the
You
metal
Where
have
we got our
detector,
first
that's
dodo.
We got our
titanium
first
there.
dodo. That's true. We got first titanium there. Oh God, there's a lot there. Holy crap! Yeah.
Battery charger. I mean, there's you made a lot of technological advances all of a sudden from going there.
That's true. That's true, man.
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't think
a
about
leap in technology for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that is that is
That
a-
one I watched the last hour of you guys playing, and I was like, oh wow, I missed quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't
I
even-
was disappointed about not being able to be there, but at the same time, I'm glad that you guys continued on though, for sure.
I mean,
what I want to know though is what's going on with those pigs there.
that's true, man. There was a
Mhm.
lot of death and sickness with those pigs.
Mhm.
Do you think that's going to come back later?
I think each
question.
place has something different going on with it. Like, because if you remember, just going back to the cruise ship, that's where the rats were, and they all the notes talked about the rats
That's true. Yeah.
and how the rats chewed up the wiring, and they had to leave the ship because of the rats. For Caravan Island, they left the island because the pigs.
So those hogs,
Um,
those boars.
They got either they were fed something that was wrong or I can't remember exactly what happened, but they became unfit to eat and they became unhealthy and people kept on getting sick.
Right. Balboa
that's-
was the
I would imagine the bears.
bears.
Yeah, the
Yep.
bears.
Yep. The bears
Yeah.
let them off. And then the
So-
radio tower they were trapped on the oil rig. So, and then somebody was finally able to get off the oil rig. So yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep. That's crazy though. But yeah, we did get a lot of stuff at Caravan Island. That was a lot of
Yes.
fun. The zip lines was by far my favorite. We're gonna put those to use when we start building, by the way.
Oh yeah, we got
Mhm.
to.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
put those.
got to be used for
Yep.
sure.
So let's go to the last part of chapter 2, which led us into the note that we found at the end that said, chapter 3 coming soon. Tangaroa. It was the city in a dome that I did not expect to run up on myself. Gargoyle, you weren't there with us for that. Did you get to watch any of it?
No, that was the weekend that was a movie night weekend, so I did not get to join in at all. I had to sneak in at the last minute just before the podcast even.
That's true. That's true. So you haven't seen any of the city in a dome then?
Only on the second one, I was able to watch the last half hour
Okay. Yeah.
because you guys were there for 2 episodes. So.
Right.
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah. Another really big area with a lot going on. So tape was a big thing. We had to find a lot of rolls of tape to fix the electrical system, which we finally figured out in the second episode of Tangaroa.
You have to open doors.
Yep, the butler bots, as they call them, and then the key cards, the tokens, all that kind of stuff. What was your favorite part of Tangaroa, Mike?
The butler bots. They really got my motor going.
Was it the electrical charge or the chasing them down?
The electrical charge. No, I'd have to say probably the parkour in that was probably my favorite part.
Cool. Yep, that was a lot of fun to do. Just jumping around and trying to figure out different pathways and such. Bone, what was your favorite part of Tangaroa?
Well, it was back in the beginning part of it. Other than first appearing, us going into it, but going back to the crane and moving all those boxes to try to get the path all lined up. If you remember us doing that.
Oh yeah.
So
the path
that was
lined up,
actually
which part? Which part is that?
Remember the crane where we had to pick up the boxes?
Oh yeah,
it was like a
and I kept
puzzle.
standing in the way.
Yeah. So when there was 2 rooms that we had to unlock, kind of.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that was your favorite part of it, was the puzzle?
That was actually really.
I have to
just
say,
because it was unexpected in the game.
Right.
But
That
your
was the first
teamwork-
time we had to do any of that stuff.
Your guys' teamwork was amazing on that sliding of those sea cans around to get through the doors.
It was
Well-
after somebody triggered the flood. It made it
Sorry,
a little
yeah.
more tricky, but
That was hilarious. That
but
was
the flood helped
fantastic.
us get to where we needed to be also.
I mean, that's
So it
Yes.
needed to happen.
No.
Well, in order to get to that second ladder, it did. To get through the exit.
Well, yeah, but it didn't help us when we were still trying to move the containers because
No, but
Couldn't see him
Mike
now.
had no idea that was going to happen.
I didn't. I had
There
no
was
clue.
no way that he just climbs up a ladder and's like, "Oh, there's a door. Let me open this door." He opens it and just floods instantly. So I'm busting a gut laughing, hoping I'm not waking my kid up because I let her out. It was a good blah because I was not expecting it. I say that was well done. The puzzle going into there, in order and all of a sudden that flood to create that, like, the panic on Mike was crazy because it's like, how do I breathe in here? Where do I go? Like, I can't go through the door. I'll drown if I try to get out through the exit. And these guys have moved the buckets on me. So he couldn't get out. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to watch.
it was a lot of fun to play. And I got to tell you, my favorite part of that was the zip lining, but specifically over to the big tower and getting into the center point of this thing. My favorite part of the whole thing is also kind of bittersweet because it brought us to the end of the second chapter. Now we're waiting for the third chapter to come out. Was when we fired the top of that thing off into the ocean. That was so much fun, man. It just shot off into nowhere, and we had to go chase it down and climb out on it and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun to kind of wrap up the storyline there, because at that point I'd really actually gotten into the storyline. Well, actually, I got into the storyline probably about Caravan Island. I really started figuring out what was going on and sending us to different places to do things and that kind of stuff. So,
Yep.
Instead of just kind of floating along, no pun intended, I'd really started getting into it. So when we read that last note that said Chapter 3 coming soon, I was like, oh man, dude, I'm just starting to get into the storyline. It's like, come on, you can't cut me off here. But it was a great place to cut off, though. I think they picked a fantastic point to kind of end it. But yeah, by far mine was just the zip lining around and being able to climb out on ledges and stuff. That was kind of cool too, because if you see a ledge, you could walk on it, but it wasn't like you were glitched into the wall. You know what I mean? It was like if you moved a little bit, you fell off of it. So I
we
thought
did.
it was, yeah, we
I did that several times.
we did, for sure. I thought it was really well done up to that point. I thought they did a great job with it. So, I guess, I mean, we could probably end off with, what we're hoping to see, or what our ideas might be now that we've been through the storyline that's out of what they got planned, for the next one, for the next chapter. I haven't read anything about it. I don't think they've leaked anything. Typically they don't. So, But I do want to start out by saying, before we get to that point, just mention one last point here on items in the game, something that we never found, and we were talking about this right before the podcast, right before we started recording, the silver algae. What? How come
Yeah.
we've never found this? Like, what?
Yeah,
I
no
don't
idea.
know. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, but then again, I had a hard time finding goo, but it wasn't until I finally saw it that I could start recognizing it.
That's true. And now we've seen this, so maybe next time we play,
Mhm.
we'll be more adept to start picking up some silver algae. Well, this makes
That
me
and
think
pine
too.
cones.
That and pine cones,
Like,
yeah. Do you guys
yeah,
think that like there might be one more thing we can't craft yet because we haven't discovered this?
oh, absolutely. I
Possible.
mean, you think about there's look at our quote unquote hidden slots. We can put down our mask. We can put down or an oxygen mask, like you know what I mean, like one of the animal heads, an oxygen mask, or oxygen mask flippers. But you always still carry the backpack. Still leaves two open things to use.
That's true.
Well, those are for armor.
Oh, that's right.
You
That's right.
can
Yep,
can
you
wear
get
armor.
Yep,
We
that's
just
true.
haven't made it yet.
Yeah, we
Okay.
we
You
don't
can make
need
the
armor.
leather armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're strong enough.
we're strong enough. We don't need it,
That shark ain't nothing.
right?
I would like to see possibly maybe the oxygen tanks getting an upgrade. So that way, you know, like you got a level 1 oxygen tank, then you use that level 1 to make a 2-bottle oxygen tank to double our swim time. Same thing with like reinforced flippers. So that way you can go a little bit farther, a little bit faster. I
Right.
think those would be great things.
The
That could
double
bring in.
oxygen tank, I think, would be very good because I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of stuff deep down, because we can get, headlamps and all that good stuff that we can use underwater. We have never really used it because we haven't found a purpose to use it yet.
Right. I mean, I think
It-
the only purpose I've seen for the headlamps is in the caves and such, or in the buildings maybe where it's dark
Yeah.
in the Tangaroa.
Right.
But I mean, who just to think if there's like under every single big island or, even medium-sized island, there is an underwater cave that we could go into, and then it comes up and, that way you can get more air or whatever. It's like, comes back into the island. All those islands could be pretty hollowed out.
Maybe if
So,
that's not something
agree.
that's in the game yet, maybe it will be.
I mean, just think of all the resources that would be in there,
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. That's true. All right. So, final thoughts on. I mean, you can do kind of a quick recap on final thoughts of Raft that we've played so far, and then maybe what you hope to see in Chapter 3, or maybe some upgrades to some of the items we already have, maybe some small additions or something. So, final thoughts. Let's start with Gargoyle.
I can't wait for what's coming up next. I hope it is sooner than later. And I'm just hoping that they're keeping on with the tradition of great quality.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Um, that's about all I can think of, really, other than, like it's just, it's been amazing and fun playing with you guys with it. That's for sure.
All right. I'm gonna go next, just so I don't get left out of that having an original thought here and just having to go. Yeah, they said it. See you guys. So, I think Raft so far has been a fantastic journey that I wish we'd have got together and played sooner, honestly, because it has been fantastic. But having Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 to play all at once has been phenomenal. It's been a lot of fun. I don't think we are the builders that a lot of people are out there. I think we have a good time playing it, and I think that's what matters
We're
to
getting
us.
there.
Yep. We are getting there. We're going to do something with it, but I think that's what matters to us. I love the storyline so far. Looking forward to getting into the next part of it. And if I could change one thing, it would be to be able to make, like Gargle said, an oxygen tank, but use we can mold metal ingot to be able to make a tank for oxygen instead of a plastic bottle. That's the one thing I think that maybe could come with further upgrades, and they might be planning that. I don't know. So, but
Like a
Chapter 3,
forge?
like a forge, yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping in Chapter 3 we get to see some of those items come up for further progression in the game, and then bigger, better, more crazy storyline to carry on from where we're at here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So looking for bigger or crazier or out there places to stop, not necessarily islands, because we've seen boats, we've seen the city, the dome in the city, or the city in a dome. So just crazy out there places they're coming up with. It's going to be a lot of fun no matter what it is. We're always going to have fun playing it. So, Mike, what do you think?
I'm right there with you and Gargoyle. I don't have anything to add. I mean, it's a great game. Enjoyed the time we've had playing it for sure. Lots of exploring. I don't have anything else to add. I just can't wait for the next update.
All right, that sounds good. Bone.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for inviting me into this game because, like I said, this is the first time I've ever even played this game. I've seen the game in the past, but it was just one that I've always just never picked up for many reasons, So thank you for that part. Mike, thank you for giving me the game.
Oh, did I?
Yes. So
Sorry.
no. And like everyone, I want to know what the heck is going on. Where did all these people go? Are we the only survivors left? We can't be, right? There's got to be a place where other people are. Or is there? And what other creatures are they going to add? It seems like every little bit, the enemies get a little bit harder and harder to defeat. So it'd be interesting to see more wild animals left around. Because, animals are pretty smart. They're always going to, defend themselves and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see what other ones that we might be able to capture, what other ones might become hostile toward us. As we're getting on, we know that there's boar out there. We obviously know that there's birds, there's bears. But you can't just be the dodo birds, a llama, and a goat that survived.
I want to find the goat.
So, something else had to survive, right? But what would it be? So, and I'm interested to see the new technology that they allow us to build. Because, all the technology is very fitting for the game. It is very crude. So, everything electronic runs on batteries, which makes sense. Our shipbuilding is very crude.
Ours specifically.
Yeah, I would like to see what other, what
Ours is
other
more
ideas they have that they're going to add into the game. So, but yeah, if you have gone this far and you still haven't played the game, well, if if we were a week earlier, you could have got it on sale, but now it's not on sale anymore. But I would still recommend to get the game.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think we can probably leave a link to Steam down below this, right, in the description.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So there'll be a link down in the description. You can pick up the game on Steam if you so choose. If not, that's fine. You can come watch us play it when we come back for Chapter 3.
Which we will.
Which we will. Okay, so let's do our Thinking Caps rating. Mike, how many Thinking Caps do you give this? Is that what we're calling Thinking Caps?
Yes.
We know what they really are, but we're calling them Thinking Caps. So, Mike, how many Thinking Caps are you giving this game?
I'm going to give this a 4.
Ooh, solid 4. All right.
Solid 4.
All right, Gargle, how many Thinking Caps are you giving it?
I wish we could give half points so I could get it closer, but I'm with Mike, 4.
All right. I too will give this game a 4 Thinking Caps. Bone, it's up to you.
I'm right with you guys. It's a solid 4 all the way.
A solid 4 from the Simdicate for the game Raft. I think that's a pretty good. That's 4 out of 5 now, not 4 out of 10. It's 4 out of 5.
Yes.
It's 1 to 5 Thinking Caps or 0. I hope we never play one of those, but we probably will at some point. How many Thinking Caps? 0 to 5. It's a solid 4 from us. Any other final thoughts, or are we good? Everybody said what they needed to say.
4 out of 4 Simdicate members recommend this game.
That's true. Yeah. 4 out of 4 with a 4 out of 5 rating. I think that's pretty solid. All right.
And
I want to hear from
if
the
any
commenters.
Raft developers are listening to this, you could always give us an early access copy of the new update. We won't mind at all.
I mean, that
yeah.
I'll bend some things around to make sure we can stream it when.
Oh yeah.
We are available.
yeah, I think that pretty much says it right there. We would be more than happy to work with the Raft developers on this, on our not just podcast, but on our streams as well. It'd be fantastic too.
That'd be good to have them in a podcast.
It'd be great to have them in a podcast if we could do this again. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. So I think that's going to do it for the night, right? Or for the day, rather. I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for joining us again, the Simdicate, for another podcast. Remember to tune in every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the multiplayer streams that we do. Podcasts are on Sundays. We've got some future projects coming up. Be sure to watch for those teaser drops for our next project coming up over the next couple weeks. I think you guys are going to enjoy what we have planned, and we look forward to seeing you in some more streams on Friday nights. We'll be doing some different games coming up too for our multiplayer streams on Friday. I am DeuceMS. We'll see you next time.
Watch out for Bruce.
Later, y'all.
Gargle?
Princess, are you there?
Gargle? You going to say bye to the people?
Sorry, I was a mid sneeze. Later, everyone.